Oh, folks. Well, I know usually it's what's he got now? I don't know. This is major news, major breakthrough. Andy and I have been digging on this for 2 weeks now, and at one point I was ready to throw it away, and just in the last 10 minutes, we got it. And it's not by it's just perseverance is all it is. Just never give up. What we had was a button box from Adafruit that you can get, and it sends out a radio signal, and this is the radio signal receiver. Has an antenna, so this will have to go in the tender. You push a button and it comes into this box and it comes out one of these pins, and this runs on 5 volts. So you're going to have to take 5 volts off this tender, which we have, no problem. And then you connect one common and one to your pin button, like A is D0. And then that can trigger something. In the beginning, we just triggered an LED. We wired an LED light bulb and it lit up. Hit the one button, lit up. Well, that's nice. Now we've got a light we can turn off from remote control. I mean, I've done this 20 feet away already and it works okay. So now we want to do something more serious. What we really need to do is get our whistle and bell and station announcement and all aboard call on these buttons. Now, this is a 2-button I just got in the mail yesterday, the 4-button version. 2-button works exactly the same way. There's 4 pins here, so the 4-button will work just fine. So I'm testing it with this button. Now, how I did that, I went back to my breadboard. I put in a programmed WeMOS. This is breadboard, so you can change the wirings any way you want it. I had a heck of a time. I tried to use these LEDs at first, and they were too big. They required too much juice. And then I had these LEDs, which are infrared sensors, on my puff and chuff sensor. So Andy convinced me to take 2 of these off, and unfortunately it took me 3 tries to get 3 good ones because I'm a klutz. Anyway, I finally got a pair off intact. I sent them into the breadboard, the 2 pins, and then I take pins off and route the inputs the outputs to the light here, and then the outputs of the sensor went here, and they went over to the steam whistle button. Isn't that nice? Get out of my way, you. I'm in the back wall of my train room. I was back to that silver wall, pushing the button, and it heard it, and it came on. Imagine that in the tender going, right? Just going around your layout. I mean, there's nowhere on here that's further than that. Not on my layout anyway, but oh, you can hear it. You can hear it from here. Okay, well, relief. What I'm going to do now is get the specs on these sensors and try to get them by a bag full, about 20 of each. And then I think what I'm going to do, I have a rubber hose here to hook them up. You see that? See how that is? Down inside there is the emitter. This is the sensor. I just put them in a rubber hose so the outside light doesn't bother them. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to print a very small black, it'll look like a 4-cylinder engine block, where I can put one sensor in one end and one sensor in the other and glue them in, and then put a connector, a four pin connector on either end, and then route those wires where they need to go onto the WeMOS and to the radio board, and package the radio board and the infrared sensor block with the remote receiver. And you know how this thing is built, right, with all the cards and all. So I think I can find a, well, that's gonna be too tall, but I will find a spot for this. It could be maybe on top of this, I don't know. We'll find a spot for it, and we'll fit it inside the tender, and all the wiring will be right in here, and we will have 4-button remote control sounds: the steam whistle, the bell, or a diesel and a horn, station announcement, or an call for all aboard. Or we can customize them even further. We can put in some chat, maybe some other things, but we'll have 4 sounds that we can evoke, call up remotely with this guy. Now the challenge is these do not have channels. This is the channel. They all same channel. So if you had 2 engines with the sound system, you would have, and you only wanted to hear one engine, you'd have to turn the power off to the soundboard some way, like a little switch, or don't run the engine or what, I don't know. But one engine at a time, 4 buttons, the sounds you want. How long have I been chasing this? For ages, I'm telling you. A long time. I built something that was just horrible. It was the size of half a tender. It had 4 relays, had this system in it, but it had relays and distributions, and had to do conversions and all kinds of crap. But Andy thought the infrared, since it works so well, we should try it. And the challenge was finding the right sensor. And I bought some, but they were crap. So then he said to try the ones on the board. But I didn't want to destroy my boards, but I ended up destroying 3 of them to get them all. I should have just cut one off first. I was trying to save by soldering them off, you know, and all that. You just can't do it. It's too tedious. So at any rate, we did it. Boy, oh boy, I am so thrilled. So thrilled. I know it's 1 button to 1 sound, but it proves out that we kind of know what we're doing, barely. But we're going to be able to package this and put it in the engine, and I have to see how fast I can do that. How fast can I find these parts, and how fast can I make the 4-cylinder engine block to assemble them. And I imagine that block would fit together with this board, you know, like all in one kind of a thing, and then try to find a spot for it. If I had to, you know what, it could go underneath the tender, and this antenna could just hang out. That would be absolutely the best thing. You know, set it in there, have the antenna like along the bottom or something. It's like invisible, it's black anyway. and then just have the signals going up and down wherever you needed them through the tender floor. I think that's a way. I don't know. We'll see how tight this gets. The bigger tenders have lots more room than some, so we'll see what I can come up with. But major breakthrough. Cannot believe I plugged it in. I didn't have anything with the sensor. I turned it around. I finally got it to light. Then I put the receiver in. Still didn't have anything. Oh, God. I turned it around because I lost track of ground. And so I had them flipped in. Both of them flipped over. So I put them in, and I hit the button. And the sound went off, and I about died. I go, what? Wait, what's that? I didn't hit this button. It's worked, it worked, hopping up and down. Margaret came down just as I got it to where. She says, you gotta come here, I need your help. Need your help for what? You need my help for what? I says, push that button. She pushes the button and the horn sounds, and she just thought that was, she knew exactly why I was so excited. That was awesome. Okay, now I'm in trouble because I have to go decorate the tree. Oh God, you haven't done that yet. No, we haven't. Because, believe it or not, I've been working on a new framework to hold all these boards in. And here I've gotten rid of this insulator, and I've actually put the insulator into the holder for the PC boards, and I've made all the notches and grooves and clearances to hold the motor control board here, the WeMOS here, the pair of volt regulators, and here is the power distribution board with the rectifiers. And so I'm thinking one spot this thing might fit would be here. It might be too big. Now when I held it over to that one, it stuck up quite a bit, but we'll see what we can do. We'll figure it out. But what I like about this idea is I can bolt and set in everything that goes in the tender and wire it up all here, wire everything up, and then all I need to do is bring up track power and put in the tether to the engine, and this thing is one big module that fits in the tender and has all our stuff in it, even the whistle. All right, I gotta go. I hear the voice. That's probably it for now, for a few days anyway. I'm gonna go do Christmas, I guess. I got some fun stuff for Margaret. I can't wait to get it wrapped and get it ready. Okay, gang, that's what I did. And guess what? That part is getting printed while I'm fixing my horn button. Isn't that a great printer? Direct Drive, Andy told me about this, how to get it and where to get it, and helped me install it from South Africa. But my printer is an old printer. It's over 3 years old, but it is awesome. He's really helped me out with that. Okay, gang, I'm printing, I'm designing, I'm fixing this. I am a pig in you know what. And I got more engines to build. Oh, Lordy. I'm all behind now, but it'll be okay. When I get through these hurdles, then it just opens up for me. I can go crazy, and I will. All right, this is it. Hey, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever floats your boat. God bless you, and hang in there. It's going to warm up. As you know, summer is going to be a cooker again. This is global warming. This is the impacts. Major climate sweeps within the season, but you know, Siberia winds coming in and blah blah blah. We're okay, you know, we're gonna be okay. And next year is a new year. All starts over. Take care, gang, and never say die. You betcha. Later.